Hi, I'm James, welcome to my world and welcome back to the Les Paul builds. Here I am getting out the timber, checking it out again. You can see the flame piece and the plain piece have gone by there. So that's like one set for the Les Pauls. That's the interesting top that's going to be difficult to make because you've got to land the toggle switch on that knot. Here I am, just working on the block. I think it was sanded to begin with, so I was just squaring it as much as possible and then sending it through the sander just to make sure that it was perfectly square before I started working on it. So that's a nasty bit of woodworm there, you can see going through that. So here you can see I'm marking on the headstock angle. I'm using every protractor I've got. I've got an angle measurer, a couple of different size protractors, and I'm just moving that headstock angle back until I hit the right position. It's going to be a tight net block. I'm just marking on the headstock thickness and the thickness of the neck and the thickness of the neck of the heel. So that's all in pencil at the minute. You can see my original lines for the headstock. At this point you can see me draw another line on the front of the headstock so that I've got a line to cut along. So I'm just using my snazzy little piece of plastic here to draw a line along the front of the neck. That will be the line that I'll be chopping along to get away from that woodworm at the edge of the neck, and it won't impact upon the headstock. So I'm going to cut along the length and cut along the headstock again so that I can get onto some decent bit of timber rather than this bit that's got the sapwood in it and also got this bit of woodworm in it. I want to try and get away from those faults in this piece of timber. That's a really difficult cut because you're trying to remove such little timber. If you pop out the front of the cut, there's only about 3 mil on the back of that cut. So that was a really difficult cut. And here I go making doorstops. So I'm sawing the front of the headstock faces, making a nice pair of doorstops. Yeah, sorry bandsaw connoisseurs, I've got the blade set a little bit high there because when you loosen it, it goes out of true, so you have to reset the blade up, so sorry, that guide should have been a lot lower. So I'm just blitzing the faces of the headstock with the belt sander, just to get them flat, not to get them square. To get them flat and square, I'm going to use a hand plane and a square. So I'm taking square off the side of the neck, and I'm hand planing my way down, trying to keep to a consistent angle. So I'm getting really nice fine wood shavings, and I'm very happy with those. Again, marking on, taking a measurement with the angle measuring tool, and then planing down again. Keep on checking with the headstock, keep on planing down, and you don't forget playing with the timber. As you can see, it's going down quite nicely. It was that little patch in the top corner that still hadn't got planed, and now you can see that's all nice, shiny and planed up. So I'll just keep working down and down and down until I get to the headstock fascia. So I'm not sure for this if I'm going to have a holly veneer or a fiberboard veneer. I'm going to have to sort that out pretty damn quick. So I'm not sure what's going to go on this headstock veneer. Back onto those pencil lines I did earlier, and now I'm using my black pencil of doom. That's going to be my cut line. That's where I'm going to cut and separate these two necks, is along that line. So in between them, I'm going to chop. But firstly, I'm going to get back onto the woodworm neck. So cutting off the back of the neck now and the back of the headstock. And just giving it a file over just to get it square and flat. Just for storage purposes, there's no real need. I'll be routing this over later on. That'll do. So, onto the fretboard. Set up the fretboard jig. Get my fingerboards prepared. And then get them stuck down. I mistakenly used the strong double-sided, so it was a bit of a nightmare getting this tape off. Bit of an idiot move, but you know. The plan next week is to get as much done on the neck as possible. The following week I intend to start the body. Now that involves changing up the CNC, changing the bed of the machine and adapting it to get this Les Paul in there. So I'm going to try and get as much work on the CNC next week as possible. As I go through this process, there's going to be a whole lot of unexpected things I've got to deal with. I've never dealt with a 3D model before, so this is going to be my first time dealing with somebody else's 3D model, getting it onto my machine and machining it out. Now, I've bought the model of guitar off a gentleman on Facebook, and I'm going to be utilising it to make the Les Paul, because there's a whole lot of design into producing a Les Paul top that, whilst it's something that I would love to do, I also realise that in itself is probably, to get it perfect, is a year's worth of work for me personally at this stage of my career. With the CNC, it would take me a lot of learning to get that Les Paul top, and if I had to tell you a period of time that I think I could get it done in, it'd be about a year, and that's me being an optimist. So, you know, it's one of those difficult things. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you very much for watching the video. It's absolutely brilliant that you're really enjoying watching the filming. I'm really enjoying doing the build and doing the editing of these videos, and would really appreciate if you could give me a like or a subscribe. That would really help me out. So yes, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you join us for more episodes of Luthier Life.